Why am I collecting Pokemon again after 30 years? Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's a few reasons, not a lot. There's a few. One of the reasons, I'm going to get right into it. One of the reasons is because I have a 4-year-old son, right? We bought a pack of, I think it was a blister, like a 3-pack blister or a 2-pack blister or something, of Phantasmal. I want to say last year, at some point later in the year. And we just bought it randomly at Target. And me and my son pulled a Charizard EX, just a normal EX card. And I didn't know anything about the new modern Pokemon. But I pulled the Charizard and I was like, dang, that's pretty sick. When I was a kid, I collected base set, jungle, fossil, that's about it. But I never pulled a Charizard. I pulled a Blastoise, Venusaur, Chansey, a bunch of the OGs, Aerodactyl, stuff like that. Never a Charizard though. So I pulled that Charizard EX and then didn't really think anything of it, just wrapped the cards up with a rubber band like an idiot and just put them in the, even though it doesn't matter, but I put them in the drawer. And then later, January this year, I'm trying to think of exactly like what caused me to buy some more in January. What was it that caused me to buy some more cards? What set was it? I can't remember exactly what set it was, but it was another similar situation. And I just bought a few more cards, ripped them, and, felt the spark again. And now that I have a kid too, that's when it really clicked. And I was like, man, I could collect these again and collect them with my son and like build him a sick binder. So that way, we're both collecting, and for a kid, like he's only 4. So if we do it for a few years, by the time he's 6, 7, 8, his binder will be sick, right? For a little kid's binder. Because I'm just going to help him build it up. So that's kind of how it started. And I very quickly, so I've only been collecting now for about 5 months or so. I very quickly realized within the first month that it was very expensive, the cards, and they were really hard to find. So, we couldn't rip very much. So I was like watching about cards on YouTube and everything. And then I found the investor channels, like, all the investor channels, like Rudy, Nostalgianomics, Team Rocket Joey, Pokey Plumber, a few more. And I just started watching them because I found them interesting and cool. They had all these booster boxes and stuff. I thought it was sick. I never thought about collecting the sealed before. So I was like, okay, well, I can just buy the sealed and just rip some of it and hold the rest and collect the sealed and collect the stuff I rip. And so that was my initial thing. So I just started buying Ascended Heroes because that came out like right after I started collecting and had this idea. Just started buying Ascended Heroes stuff, and I ripped some of it, kept some of it, and then, just kept doing that. Bought some prismatic stuff, bought some Destined Rivals bundles. Destined Rivals a bit expensive, so I haven't bought a booster box. But, I've just bought some stuff here and there and built my collection up a bit in the last few months, and it's been fun. It's been super fun. But, well, there's no but. It's been super fun. And during that time, I've just been watching like all these YouTubers because my feed is just filled with Pokemon YouTube now. And it's directed mainly at the investor channels. Those are the ones I find the most interesting. Oh, Pokémon too, I forgot. You know, if I forget anyone, it's not because I don't like you or something. I watch like, I don't know how many, like 7 or 8 of the channels or something like that. And I pretty much enjoy most of them, you know, so they're all pretty good. I would say that Pokepond on Saturdays is one of my favorites. Pokeplumber every morning, definitely one of my favorites for sure. And Team Rocket Joey, I like his stuff, but I can't. Sometimes, you know, I fall for the trolling from him, right? Probably I'm like autistic or something, and I can't tell when people are kidding, but that's fine. I still think his stuff is good and funny, and yeah. So, anyways, just wanted to share a bit about what I did and what I'm doing now. So now, mostly I am doing the same thing pretty much. Like when Chaos Rising came out, I bought a booster box. I'm not going to rip that, but I also bought an ETB bundle, bunch of sleeve packs and a 3-pack blister. Ripped all that with my son. Got some decent pulls, no SIRs. Since I've started, I've only pulled 2 SIRs in 5 months. And I don't rip all the time, but I've definitely ripped, I would say, if I were to guess, I would say 120 to 150 packs. I don't know, somewhere in there. So not like crazy by any means, but still, it's not nothing. And I pulled 2, like, and one was Megaladius EX. Pulled it in like the first 5 packs that I opened. And so that's what it was. I was trying to remember at the beginning of the video. I went into a card shop, bought some Surging, bought some Mega Evolution base and some Surging. But I pulled the Megaladius EX SIR out of that. I didn't even know how cool it was. Actually, at the time, I was like, oh, this card's pretty sick. You know, and I sleeved it. The guy sleeved it and gave me a top loader for it and all that. And then I realized it was like a super rare card, and that kind of got me hooked. I was like, dang, this card is fire, you know? And since then, that was like literally my first 5 packs. Since then, I pulled 1 other SIR, and it was like a Rotom EX. So not the best. It's like a $20 card. It's a cool card, but it's like $20. You know, and I don't really like Rotom either. He's like a cell phone. But yeah. So now I just watch all these guys make these videos, and I'm going to be honest, it just looks fun to make the videos. Okay? It just looks fun to make the videos, so I'm going to make some videos too. My collection is not near as big. This is just like, I don't know, a third of what I have right here. I have like 2 more sections like this over here with other stuff, and that's all I got, and I don't care. It's fun, dude. Like, you know, just invest what I can into it, rip what I can. I got some good binders going, and we go to the card shop sometimes to pick out singles. Every once in a while we'll do that. We've only bought like 5 singles probably, but yeah, and with my son being 4, you know, it makes it that much more fun. Like, to be completely honest, I don't know if I would collect if I didn't have a son. Probably not, just like from life. Maybe I wouldn't even think of it, you know? But since I had him, I got back into it, and it's been really cool, actually. Give me something to do. And also, I'm like, I invest in my retirement and everything already, so I have like retirement money, like, you know, building up, and that's good, like 401k and all that. But as far as savings and stuff, I've just never really been good at saving money. And it's definitely a flaw I need to work on for sure. But this has allowed me to like use my money to do something fun, and it's not just like pissing away all my money. You know, some would say maybe it is, I don't know. But if I decide one day I want to take a chunk of this and just list it on eBay and sell like a few of it and make a few $100s back for whatever I need, I can do it easily. I've already sold some stuff. It's not hard to sell some stuff on eBay. maybe that's for another video, but I've seen some rhetoric lately that's like, you're not going to be able to sell. You have to learn to sell. And I mean, the market's hot right now, so maybe they're right in that, like when it's not a hot market. But I think if you just sell, my thought is that if you just sell like as you go, some, like a little bit, and make sure you build up, like I sell on eBay. So if you just sell a little bit as you go, make sure you're getting like really good reviews, package your stuff really nice. I always like message the people and, you know, tell them, oh, hey, I'm going to ship your stuff out, because I'm not sending a bunch of stuff. So I don't have to like treat it like a business or anything. I can just be more personal. So I'm like, hey, shipping your stuff, and I'll like throw in a free IR, like a cheap one or an EX card or whatever. I'll like throw that in there too, and just get like 5-star reviews on all my stuff. I've gotten all 5-star reviews. And so by the time I'm like, okay, I want to sell a decent chunk of my stuff, if I have like 20, 30 5-star reviews, all good, saying I'm a good seller, that's enough. Like if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on eBay and I see a seller with, you know, 30, 40, 50 5-star reviews, and they're selling a booster box and they have good pictures of it, I'll buy from them. You know, if they have 1 review or like 0, I'm not going to buy from them, most likely. But yeah, I mean, I think on eBay, it's not that hard to sell Pokemon is all I'm saying. I've seen this rhetoric that's saying like, you're not going to be able to sell, you're going to have trouble selling, you know, but I haven't experienced that so far. So anyway, yeah, appreciate it. You most likely, nobody's ever gonna watch this, but it's all good. I'm just practicing making some videos. I might keep doing this, I might not. But I think it's fun to make them because I do enjoy the collecting. And if I'm gonna make videos about anything, it's gonna be something I enjoy. So, appreciate it. Have a good one.